Your girl and that butcher's boy attacked my son. That animal of hers nearly tore his arm off.
That's not true. She just bit him a little. He was hurting Micah.
A big favourite of people that I speak to is Arya, the little girl rejecting all the conventions of her sex to become this young warrior.
She was one of my favorites right from the beginning. I mean, people often ask me who's my favorite character, and my answer is always Tyrion, but Arya is probably the second favorite, and it's pretty close. She's always a joy to write. Maisie Williams, what a find she was. We looked through hundreds of girls for Arya, and she's become a real favorite in the TV show.
The remarkable thing for me was this is a genre that I'd not looked at before, and I wasn't expecting to find these characters that I can really identify with. And I was seeing, you know, these are people from a world that don't really exist, but they're having the same kind of problems that I do.
Yeah, I've always felt that character is the heart of fiction. If you make the characters real, then the rest of the furniture around them is almost incidental. You'll still have a powerful story. You'll still have a story that will involve and affect your readers. So for me, character is really what fiction is all about.
With the characters in Game of Thrones, they're very three-dimensional, that you get to know all their characteristics.
They're people you would sit next to at dinner. They're not worried about retrieving a magic amulet from somewhere. You know, they're worried about who's going to kill them or whether they're going to get to eat next week or who they're going to have sex with next.
He's certainly an incredible master of plot and of character. I think throughout this immense series of novels, you get constant shifts and developments in character, which is the mark of a really, really good writer.
Away with you, dog. You're scaring my lady. I don't like to see you upset.
You're a very accessible author.
Yes, which has good and bad to it, I tell you. It just never dawned on me to erect all these protective walls about myself.
When you go to the conventions and to the book signings, do you still just feel like a fanboy yourself, going and looking at the merchandise and meeting people that are like you, or do you feel like you've moved to another plane now?
I can remember book signings back in the 80s, and where no one would come. Obviously, those days have gone, and I saw with each volume of Ice and Fire, the crowds have gotten bigger. And with Feast for Crows and with Dance with Dragons, the last two books, the crowds have been enormous.